Daredevil Season 3. This is going to be my spoiler review. The review I have on my website, soundedbettermyhead.com, is pretty spoiler free. There's a few slight spoilers on there, nothing super major. Pretty good season. Overall pretty good. I gave it a 4-star out of 5. I think I could still live with that. You know, that was only a couple days ago, but I'm still happy with that review rating. As far as returning characters, Daredevil was decent. I actually thought they were going to do a little bit more with Matt sort of losing his senses and losing his powers. Didn't really last too long, and there wasn't really any like lingering effects. I thought maybe that would crop up later in the season, you know, cutting into his abilities, but it didn't. Unfortunately, he still had the same story arc he's had since the beginning of season 1, more or less, and that's his debate on whether or not he should kill the Kingpin, or really kill in general. And its argument comes off as kind of silly, especially those scenes where he's helping cops, not even the cops, but even the FBI. He's like, hey, there's this guy here, shoot him. And people are dying, and he's kind of pointing at who needs to die. But as far as him crossing the line himself, it's this big moral dilemma. I mean, the cops do it, the FBI does it, everyone's got to kill. They don't always like it, but it's something they got to do in their job. And you got a guy as dangerous as the Kingpin, someone that's basically got control over, you know, the FBI and the courts and the juries and everything. There's chances this guy gets, you know, convicted and it sticks and he stays in jail are pretty much non-existent. And plus, this guy wants your friends and family dead. It just seems kind of logical that you would take him out. I mean, even late in the season finale, he had a chance to let Bullseye finish off Fisk, and he ends up saving him. I don't know if he was wanting to kill him himself, which is kind of goofy, or did he change his mind before he got there and want the Kingpin to be in jail? I don't know. It was okay. I mean, I like that he got him back to classic Matt in the end. He had his friends back. He wasn't pushing everyone aside. He was not going to do this alone. And we finally got that chemistry back between the leads. Also, one of the lead characters, Foggy, was pretty solid again. You know, just really using his charm and his smarts. You know, before he used to kind of rely on Matt for a lot of things. There's so much more he did on his own here. You know, proving himself as a stronger character. Karen Page, though, she had some pretty interesting story arcs. They probably brought up, you know, the skeletons in her closet, some newer ones about her past life, and of course the season 1 murder of Wesley. But Deborah Ann Wool had some phenomenal acting moments. The scene between her and the Kingpin going back and forth, when she was trying to egg him on, and basically she had some strong acting. Well, while even like saying a lot of words in some sequences. Just the flashbacks of her family, there was some strong stuff. Just over, I don't want to go too crazy in detail, but man, she had some good stuff. Fisk himself, he wasn't as nuanced most of this season. There were some points where he was, and definitely at the end when Vanessa came back, you really got to see that more vulnerable side of him that worked so well in season 1. They almost made him a little too omnipotent, where, like I said, he's controlled everything, and secret rooms and all this stuff almost went too far. But overall, not bad. As far as major new characters, said Sister Maggie was a good addition. I mean, any comic book fan already knows that she's going to be revealed as Matt's mom. But I like the interaction between them. I liked her sarcasm, just the way she talked. The reveal that she was his mom was a little so-so. I mean, just kind of a weird way to do it, especially, you know, Matt's hearing how good it is. And out of the blue, she prays to Matt's dad, and it's like, mentions their son. It was a weird way to do it. And it didn't really pay off as much as I thought, because he more or less ignored her after that until the, you know, kind of the end. it was, I don't know, it was handled a little weird. I mean, I understand why they did it the way they did and why he was mad at Father Layton for keeping the secret as well. But like I said, she was a great character. She just kind of got pushed in the background as the season went on. Obviously, the best new character would be Bullseye. Of course, they don't call him Bullseye. He never gets the Bullseye costume. He's basically in a Daredevil suit. But they made him a very interesting character out of him. A lot of nuances to him. I mean, he's basically a psychopath, but they just put enough into it. You kind of want to see this guy redeem himself. He wants to do good. He wants to be like part of society and not be this mass murderer that he, could have been if he didn't have that good counselor growing up. And just like I said, there's moments that the last time he almost gets Julie to help him out. It's like you really feel for a guy. All the bad shit that he did is like, you kind of want him to redeem himself one last time. At the end, once the switch is flipped, for good, he becomes an insane killer. But pretty good action scenes. Sometimes it was a little corny. He just throw random shit that didn't look like wouldn't hurt anybody. But then there was some cool classic Bullseye throwing pencils or other objects and killing people. The final scene with him was a little corny. I mean, it's cool that they were giving him the enhanced spinal column after his injury, but the last close-up of his eye with just the bullseye in it was just odd. Like, I don't know if that was his eyes are supposed to be like that now, or it was just a nod to the bullseye character. It was just done real silly. Like I said, the overall plot was pretty well done. I liked a lot of stuff that didn't seem like it was important in the beginning. As the season went on, you could see how much it all worked together. Fisk's plot seemed pretty simple in the beginning, just getting himself out of jail and keep his wife or his fiance out of trouble. And then as it goes on, it turns out it's been a year that he's had this scheme and process, and he's been picking out marks out of the FBI, and he's been planning this and buying hotels and with secret rooms, and it's actually been something he's been going for a while. I don't think there's too much else I want to get into as far as the plot and the characters. I covered it fairly well in the my written review. I'm just going to go through my notes and see if there's anything on here that's worth mentioning. Nice to see. It threw me at first when they did the flashback. It was nice to see in the first episode they showed us what happened immediately after Matt revealed his identity to Karen at the end of Daredevil season 2, because it got glossed over because of the Defenders series. So it was cool going back and seeing that. Kind of still missed the classic Daredevil costume, the red costume. And a little disappointed he didn't get a version of it, a newer version by the end of the series this year. But the black costume really grew on me, so getting that back and him wearing that for the whole season, I actually kind of dug that. I like the intro to Bullseye, him just taking people out, doing the ricocheting bullets. Glad he at least threw something at somebody that hurt him, because he was almost coming off a little bit too much like Deadshot from the Suicide Squad movie. Thought they were a little too vague early on about how much power Matt still had as he was recuperating. Couldn't tell what he could and couldn't do. I wish there was a way they could have shown, like when they showed his powers in his prime, the world on fire in season 1, maybe some kind of darkened world, and maybe you could see a little bit, maybe even like the Daredevil vision, the sonar vision from the Ben Affleck film. I don't know, but this would have maybe helped for the audience to visualize. The hallucinations where Matt kept seeing the Kingpin, pretty corny. Just, I didn't think it really added that much. I mean, I know what they were trying to get to, but I don't know. And the worst part is, you've seen in the trailers these interactions where like, holy shit, Kingpin knows who Matt is, and they're in the same room together, and then they come to find out all that was just in his head. Was a little disappointing. And this is a little nitpick. He sneaks into this super fancy looking hotel, and then he's kind of walking around like it looks like a beat up homeless guy, and he doesn't look out of place. No one's like, who is this guy? Of course, the awesome, like 10-minute long fight scene at the prison. just the single take, just follow Matt. You got all the fighting going on, and they even stop for a dialogue section. You got the guy has to switch into like a prison guard's outfit and then make their way back out again. Really cool. There's nothing super spectacular in the actual fighting itself, but it was just a cool technical achievement. You know, watching this go on and having to switch Matt out and bring in his stunt double and not let you see it. It was also really vague. We knew that Karen and Foggy thought Matt was dead, though Karen wasn't convinced. But it kind of felt like the rest of the city might have thought Matt was dead because this semi-prominent lawyer just disappeared. I thought when people started trying to blame Matt for shit, I'm like, well, I thought the world thought he was dead, but apparently only his friends thought he was dead. So I thought maybe that was just me. I thought there should have been a little more clarity on that. I thought Bullseye's turn to evil was a little quick. I mean, for him, the point he was at when he was last talking to Kingpin to the point where he decides to put on this fake Daredevil suit and go murder a bunch of people was a little sudden. I wish it was like maybe one more thing to push him over the edge, but I should have talked about this in my characters, but I'll bring it up now. The new character of Ray Nadine seemed fairly useless at first. It seemed like a ripoff of the female, was she CIA from the Punisher season 1? Just this kind of random character they added that worked in the government. But as this story went on, and Kingpin basically forced him to work for him, and then his redemption arc actually made a pretty solid storyline for him. Just the whole cold-bloodedness of Kingpin taking out that Julie chick after she reconnects with Poindexter. It was just so sudden. I don't know. These guys get up, shoot in the head, and just throw in plastic like it was nothing. The flashback with Matt's mom meeting his dad was a little weird just because I don't know how old she was supposed to be, but she looked very young. She looked like she was like 13, and this dude she meets looked like he's damn near in his 30s, and all of a sudden they look like they fall in love at like first sight. This looked a little awkward. Love to see that they did finally call him the Kingpin this season. I like the Karen origin story information that they gave us, but it was so weirdly placed in the season. You know, this guy's going to kill her, and then we got to backtrack and watch her origin, and then we get to the church fight, which was pretty decent. Actually, I wasn't as impressed as I thought I could have been. Though the sequence with Matt and Nadeem, Matt's pointing out, hey, those guys come in, and he would shoot, and them trying to get out of the ambush was pretty cool. Crazy, kind of cool scene. Vanessa could be just as devious as Wilson. She basically ordered Nadine's death. Surprised it didn't really bite her in the ass more than it did. Pretty cool final fight sequence with Matt, Bullseye, and the Kingpin. Then finally, I was going to say my favorite episode was the 4th episode with the big prison riot. I already said why I liked it. I just thought it was really well done. And the 3rd episode with the Kingpin hallucinations, I thought was just, like I said, I thought it was just kind of cheesy. Didn't really do anything for me. Don't got a ton else. Just wanted to get some thoughts out there, get into some of the spoiler stuff. Probably some stuff I forgot to mention, but that's about it. So thanks for watching. Check out my website, soundofbettermyhead.com. More reviews, comic strips, all that good stuff.